Atlanta's gossip mill has erupted again, and this time the whispers are louder, sharper, and more personal than ever before. What started as a vague rumor on a late-night live stream has now spiraled into full-blown chaos across social media, with fans dissecting every post, every like, every cryptic emoji. The talk? A shocking twist involving Mendeecees, Mena, and Yandy Smith, three names that have been intertwined in love, loyalty, and heartbreak for years. According to insiders, something unexpected has shifted the balance of trust, leaving even the most loyal fans divided and confused. Did Mendeecees cross a boundary that can't be undone? Or is this all a misunderstanding magnified by the glare of fame? As timelines flood with speculation and group chats buzz with theories, emotions are running dangerously high. Screenshots are being shared, old interviews are resurfacing, and the energy online feels like the calm before an emotional storm. Everyone wants answers, but in the world of reality stars, the truth rarely comes without a price. Tonight, we're breaking down every detail of this unfolding drama, separating the facts from the frenzy, and asking the question that everyone's too afraid to say out loud. When the cameras stop rolling and the filters come off, how much of this love is real, and how much is just for the show? The internet practically froze the moment whispers turned into receipts. Mendeecees had allegedly surprised Mena with a brand new luxury apartment in one of Atlanta's most exclusive high-rise buildings, and fans could not believe their eyes. The story broke after a viral TikTok showed Erica touring the lavish penthouse, her excitement radiating through every frame, as captions hinted it was a special gift from someone unexpected. Within hours, blogs, gossip pages, and fan accounts flooded the timeline with side-by-side comparisons, speculating about dates, connections, and what this extravagant gesture really meant. Was it a token of friendship? A business move? Or something far deeper and far more complicated? The apartment itself seemed to symbolize more than real estate. It represented status, loyalty, and perhaps unspoken emotions. Social media detectives went into overdrive, analyzing furniture, fixtures, and even the skyline view from Erica's Instagram story to confirm the location. Meanwhile, Yandy's name began trending almost immediately, as fans demanded to know whether she had known about this or been blindsided like everyone else. The tension in the comment sections was palpable. Some defended Mendeecees, saying generosity isn't a crime. Others accused him of disrespecting boundaries. And in the middle of it all, Erica stayed quiet, posting soft smiles, inspirational quotes, and just enough ambiguity to keep the world guessing. The silence spoke louder than words, and one question echoed across every platform. Was this gift a sign of kindness, or a spark that could burn everything they'd built to the ground? For Yandy Smith, the moment the news hit wasn't just shocking, it was shattering. The woman who had built a life around loyalty, trust, and shared struggle suddenly found herself at the center of a betrayal she never saw coming. Sources close to her say she first learned about the surprise apartment the same way everyone else did, through a social media clip that kept replaying on her phone until disbelief turned into devastation. Friends describe her sitting silently, scrolling through comments, unable to process how something so personal could be broadcast so publicly. In private, her emotions swung between anger, confusion, and heartbreak. After everything we've been through, she reportedly whispered to a close friend, "How could he make a move like that and not even tell me?" Those words carried the weight of years of partnership, sacrifice, and unspoken promises. For Yandy, it wasn't just about a piece of property. It was about principle, communication, and the quiet respect that should exist between two people who've weathered so much together. That night, insiders say she didn't sleep. Messages went unanswered. Calls were ignored. The woman the public knew as calm and composed was now fighting a private storm that threatened to undo everything she'd worked to build. Her inner circle rallied around her, offering reassurance that the internet never tells the full story. But Yandy couldn't shake the feeling that something fundamental had changed. Every smile in the photos, every word of support felt heavier, more forced. The next morning, she showed up to her commitments as always, flawless on the outside but breaking on the inside. Cameras captured her professionalism. Few could see the pain hiding behind her eyes. She wasn't just questioning Mendeecees anymore. She was questioning whether the foundation of their relationship had quietly cracked while the world was too busy watching the show to notice. The apartment at the heart of this controversy wasn't just any Atlanta property, it was a masterpiece of luxury, perched high above the skyline, wrapped in glass and whispers. Floor-to-ceiling windows revealed breathtaking views of the city lights, while marble floors gleamed beneath designer chandeliers. Every inch of the space screamed exclusivity: imported Italian furniture, gold-accented fixtures, and a walk-in closet big enough to be its own zip code. It wasn't just an apartment. It was a statement, the kind that said, "You've made it and you belong to a different world now." And that's what made it sting even more. For Yandy, the extravagance wasn't about envy. It was about symbolism. What did this gift really represent? To her, it felt less like generosity and more like a reminder that boundaries had been blurred somewhere along the way. Fans on social media couldn't stop analyzing the deeper meaning either. Was this Mendeecees trying to prove his success or mask a deeper guilt? Was Erica's excitement a genuine celebration, or a quiet message aimed at someone who'd once stood beside her in love and loyalty? The apartment became more than a piece of real estate. It became a stage where emotions, pride, and history collided. And as the photos spread across the internet, people didn't just see furniture and chandeliers. They saw betrayal wrapped in luxury, secrets hidden behind expensive walls, and a gift that might cost far more than its market value. As the days passed, the tension began to ripple far beyond the three names at the center of the storm. Friends who had once shared dinners, business ventures, and vacations suddenly found themselves taking sides in a drama that no one wanted to be part of publicly, but everyone had an opinion about privately. Yandy's closest circle grew protective, advising her to focus on her peace and not feed into the narrative that was exploding online. But behind closed doors, the conversations were raw and emotional. "It's not even about the apartment," one insider claimed, she said tearfully. "It's about the disrespect, the way I found out." Meanwhile, some mutual friends tried to stay neutral, insisting that social media was twisting the story and that there had to be an explanation. Still, whispers began spreading about group chats being divided, people unfollowing each other, and longtime alliances quietly fracturing. Even family members weren't immune to the fallout. Relatives who had always been vocal in their support of the couple started posting cryptic messages about loyalty and truth, fueling even more speculation. The once tight-knit energy surrounding Yandy and Mendeecees started to feel strained, with every appearance and every silence analyzed like a press statement. For Erica, the tension was just as heavy. Those who had celebrated her new chapter now questioned her motives, unsure if she'd stepped into a storm she didn't intend to start. Behind the glossy social media smiles, there were tense phone calls, awkward encounters at events, and the constant pressure of knowing millions were watching every move. What was once a private misunderstanding had now become a public spectacle, and everyone involved was learning the hard way that in the world of fame and feelings, even the smallest gesture can echo like an earthquake. While the internet raged with theories and judgment, Mena found herself caught between silence and self-defense. From her perspective, the apartment wasn't meant to stir drama. It was supposed to mark a new beginning, a symbol of independence and hard-earned success. According to those close to her, Erica had been working on several business projects in Atlanta and needed a space that reflected her growth and ambitions. So when Mendeecees stepped in to help make it happen, she didn't think twice about accepting. But what she didn't expect was for the world to twist the gesture into a scandal. As the headlines grew louder, Erica kept her tone calm, choosing subtle posts over direct responses. A few heart emojis here, a motivational quote there. Enough to spark interpretation, but not confrontation. Insiders say she genuinely felt blindsided by the backlash, hurt that her excitement over a new chapter was being painted as provocation. Privately, she reached out to clear the air, assuring that there was no hidden agenda, no secret affair, just gratitude taken out of context. But by then, The narrative had already taken on a life of its own. Every outfit she wore, every caption she wrote was treated like a clue. Fans dissected her tone, her location tags, even the color of her walls, searching for meaning that wasn't there. Still, Erica stood firm, telling friends she refused to let rumors rewrite her story. "People will believe what they want," she reportedly said. "All I can do is move with grace." Yet behind that grace was exhaustion, the kind that comes when your truth is drowned out by everyone else's version of it. The silence between Yandy and Mendeecees didn't last long. It couldn't. The tension had reached a point where unanswered calls and half-read messages were no longer enough. One evening, after days of tiptoeing around the issue, Yandy finally confronted him. What began as a calm conversation quickly turned into an emotional storm that no camera could fully capture. "You bought her an apartment, Mendeecees?" she asked, her voice trembling between disbelief and anger. "Without even mentioning it to me?" The words hung in the air like a verdict, heavy and unavoidable. Mendeecees, caught off guard by her tone, tried to explain that it wasn't what it looked like, that he was simply helping Erica with an investment opportunity, something strictly business. But to Yandy, the explanation felt hollow. "It's not about money," she said. "It's about respect. It's about transparency." The conversation spiraled as both voices rose, each sentence digging deeper into old wounds about trust and communication. Insiders say that night stretched into the early hours, filled with tears, accusations, and long, painful silences. After that confrontation, the tension spilled into their private messages. Screenshots later leaked online showed fragments of their conversations, short, clipped responses, punctuated by anger and disappointment. Mendeecees wrote things like, "You're reading too deep into it," while Yandy responded, "You keep giving people reasons to doubt you." Friends who tried to mediate said it wasn't just about the apartment anymore. It had become a mirror for everything left unresolved in their relationship. Old arguments resurfaced, unhealed scars reopened, and both sides struggled to find the right words to rebuild trust. Meanwhile, Erica's name continued to circulate in every group chat and headline, and despite her attempts to stay out of the drama, she couldn't escape the ripple effects. Yandy's friends reportedly messaged her directly, asking why she hadn't stepped in to clarify things sooner, while Erica insisted she had no control over how people perceived the situation. In the days that followed, everyone involved tried to keep things private, but leaks, whispers, and exclusive insider updates made that impossible. By the end of the week, what should have been a personal disagreement had turned into public entertainment, fuel for reaction videos, gossip channels, and podcasts dissecting every word. And in the middle of it all were three people exhausted by the noise, each silently wondering if there was any way to fix what had already been broken in front of millions. By the time the confrontation leaked and the screenshots hit the blogs, the internet had officially lost its mind. Every major gossip page from the Shade Room to Hollywood Unlocked had posted about the situation, and within hours, hashtags like Darsh Yandy Drama, Darsh Erica Giftgate, and Mendeecees Mess were trending across platforms. Twitter Spaces filled up overnight as fans hosted live debates, analyzing every detail like forensic experts. Some defended Mendeecees, claiming people were overreacting and twisting his intentions, while others sided firmly with Yandy, calling the gesture disrespectful and emotionally tone-deaf. TikTok creators reenacted the confrontation using voiceovers and memes, turning heartbreak into content that racked up millions of views. Even celebrities started chiming in, some offering sympathy, others dropping cryptic comments that only fueled more speculation. Reaction. YouTubers picked apart body language, text tone, and even timestamps, framing their videos with headlines like, "Did Mendeecees really betray Yandy?" and Erica's hidden message in her latest post. Meanwhile, on Instagram, fans flooded the trio's comment sections with thousands of opinions, some compassionate, others brutal. For Yandy, the digital noise was suffocating. Every time she opened her phone, her personal life was front-page news. Erica, on the other hand, seemed to embrace the chaos with poise, posting carefully curated photos that kept the world guessing. Mendeecees stayed mostly silent, which only made things worse, as silence became its own kind of statement. The entire situation had evolved into more than gossip. It was a cultural moment about loyalty, perception, and how easily social media can turn private pain into public entertainment. Commentators began questioning the boundaries of fame itself, asking how much of this was real and how much was being amplified by the audience's appetite for drama. Everyone wanted to know who was right, who was lying, and who would speak next, but no one stopped to consider the emotional toll behind the viral spectacle. And as the memes kept coming and reactions grew louder, one truth became clear. Once the internet turns your heartbreak into a headline, there's no easy way to take the story back. After weeks of chaos, when the noise finally began to fade just enough to breathe, quiet attempts at reconciliation started behind the scenes. Yandy, though still hurt, agreed to meet Mendeecees privately away from cameras, away from social media, in hopes of getting real answers face-to-face instead of through public narratives. That meeting, according to insiders, was filled with long pauses and emotional honesty. Mendeecees admitted he should have handled things differently, acknowledging that secrecy had created unnecessary pain. Yandy listened, her expression soft but cautious, still unsure whether the apology was genuine or just damage control. "It's not about the gift anymore," she told him quietly. "It's about how easily you forgot I'd have to deal with the aftermath." There was no shouting this time, no slammed doors, just two people trying to navigate a trust that had been cracked under the pressure of fame. In the days that followed, mutual friends stepped in to mediate, reminding them that their bond had survived worse storms before. Small gestures began to appear, flowers sent to Yandy's doorstep, old photos reshared with nostalgic captions, and even a private dinner organized by close family to remind them of where it all began. Erica, for her part, reportedly reached out to clear the air one last time, apologizing for how things spiraled even if her intentions had been misunderstood. It wasn't a grand reconciliation, but a quiet acknowledgement that too many emotions had been wounded for the story to stay one-dimensional. Still, the scars remained visible, and trust, once broken under the gaze of millions, isn't easily repaired. Fans began to notice a shift. Fewer public statements, fewer indirect posts, and a growing sense that everyone involved wanted peace more than validation. For the first time in weeks, the silence didn't feel like avoidance. It felt like healing. Slow and fragile, but real. In the end, when the dust settled and the headlines began to fade, what remained wasn't just a story about gifts, rumors, or betrayal. It was a mirror held up to the reality of modern love under public scrutiny. Yandy, Mendeecees, and Erica had each learned something painful yet powerful about how perception can twist truth and how silence can speak louder than any statement. The apartment, once a symbol of luxury and pride, had turned into a lesson about communication, transparency, and the cost of fame. Fans who once fueled the chaos began to reflect too, realizing that behind every viral post are real emotions, real tears, and real consequences. Maybe no one was entirely right or wrong. Maybe everyone was simply human, navigating love, loyalty, and ego in front of a crowd that never looks away. And while the story might not have a perfect ending, it serves as a reminder that peace doesn't always come with closure. Sometimes it comes with acceptance. So, as we wrap up this chapter of Atlanta's most talked about saga, the question remains, what would you have done in their place? Would you forgive a mistake made in the spotlight or walk away to protect your peace? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because if there's one thing this story proves, it's that in the world of reality stars, the truth is never as simple as it seems, and the next twist is always just one post away.